Welcome to my 2021 makeup favorites. If you like the makeup I'm wearing, I'm not gonna be able to leave it in the description box below like I usually do because I have so many items to talk about. I'm probably not even gonna be able to fit all of them in the description box. So check out my birthday makeup video to see all the products on my face. Let's jump right in. The only primer that I used this year was the In Beauty Face Glaze. It's one of my favorite products. You can use it as a highlighter, but I find that it works best just as a product on no makeup days when you just want to look a little better. I love that they updated the packaging to a squeezy tube, and it is as if you mixed the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter with a rich cream, but it doesn't feel heavy on the skin. It just feels incredibly nourishing. It blurs the skin a little bit. There's light reflection. It is just a stunning product. It's moisturizing, and your skin just feels so incredibly soothed. It has ceramides, squalane, hyaluronic acid. It just has wonderful skincare ingredients. I get so many questions about how to use this, and honestly, you can use it however you want. On some days, if I have a moisturizer that feels a little bit too lightweight, meaning like it sets down and kind of feels like it disappeared, I'll mix this bad boy into it. Gives it a beautiful glow and feels a little bit more rich, and I love using it that way. If you don't like mixing it in with moisturizers, you can put it underneath sunscreen, so like on top of your moisturizer to give yourself a little more glow, little nourishment. You can use it on top of sunscreen like a primer. So let's say if your sunscreen was just a little bit too matte or made you look a little bit too dull, pop this bad boy right on top. You can mix it into foundation. It'll kind of make the coverage of your foundation a little bit lighter. It'll add a little bit of glow. And I just love using it when I'm not wearing makeup because it just makes the skin look so much better. It's a product that makes you look expensive, like you have a really good skincare routine. My only foundation from the favorite was my discontinued bitch, my Makeup Forever Ultra HD Invisible Cover Foundation. I'm so mad. Okay. So this was like the 8th iteration of the formula of the Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation. So like we could have predicted this would happen. They are now reformulating this, and a few of my friends who work at Sephora or are like working for the brand gave me a little heads up that I had like a lot of people DM me. This is gonna be like a satin matte skin tint. So I'm not particularly stoked on that, although I know everyone said that it was really nice. I think I'm gonna buy a backup of this on Sephora because I love it so much. The new Fitglow Foundation Plus that launched actually looks and feels very similar on the skin to this, so I'm excited. I just need to keep testing a little bit more. But yeah, can't talk about this anymore because you can't get it now. If you've been here for a while, you know that on a day-to-day basis, I don't wear foundation. I really actually don't wear foundation ever unless I'm filming because it just makes you look so much better on camera. What I reach for as a foundation is this, the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Concealer. This is the shade Light 40N. I think ColourPop says that this is a full coverage concealer. I don't know that I agree with that. I think it's medium buildable. There's Light 40N. I would agree that it's neutral, and I have quite pink undertones and redness in my skin, so it kind of helps to balance that out a little bit. And the formula is really beautiful. It's got a bit of a hydrating finish, but in a way that sets down to look skin-like. That's why I love it as a base. I prefer a much more full coverage kind of blurring concealer under my eyes, but I love using this as a foundation because the formula just looks like skin, but also adds a pretty good amount of coverage. And I just find that in any kind of doe foot applicator, if I dot that all over my face, I use so much less product than if I'm using a foundation with a pump. That's why I always reach for concealers, and I never really understood why I prefer concealers as a foundation, and I realize it's because the doe foot applicator makes me use less product. Whereas if I have my Makeup Forever foundation, I'll pump up like one pump of R230, one pump of R220. All of a sudden I have 2 pumps of foundation all over my face. So, you know, I'm sure there are foundations that have pretty similar formulas to this, but I just kind of prefer using this. And it's nice and small, fits in my bag. So this would be like my #1 pick for foundation. The only under eye concealer I need is the Fitglow Concealer in C2.5. Could not count how many tubes of this I've been through. My God, it is, I mean, it's the only one I use. I don't use anything else because I don't need to. So I'm gonna put this over my mole so you can see. This is ColourPop 40N. This is Fitglow C2.5. C2.5 is like fair to light with neutral undertones. And what I like is that ColourPop 40N is a little bit darker, which matches my face, and then Fitglow C2.5 is a little bit lighter for my under eyes. What I love about this concealer, oh my goodness, it is full coverage. It is so incredible. In fact, I will let the product speak for itself. It's been on my eyes for like 3.5 hours now. That's like no powder under my eyes, just as it's worn for 3 or 4 hours. I think you can see it, my under eyes just look a little bit perfected and blurred. Obviously not perfect. We have limitations of having real skin here, but it just makes the under eyes look a little bit filtered. It's full coverage, and it's a little hydrating, but you can see it's not dewy. It's not matte. It has a texture that is quite thick. The reason I like that is because it stays in place. It stays where you put it. This doesn't feel sticky. It's thick and it stays in place. And it kind of sets down. It like does everything I could ever want in an under eye concealer. It also has a ton of skincare ingredients in it. That's why I love Fitglow so much. It's all skincare meets makeup. I have a highlight on my Instagram page called Fitglow Conceal, I think, or maybe just Fitglow, I can't remember. But if you want to see this in action and see all of my best practices for using this formula, check out that highlight because I think some people expect it to be different. The trend these days is all like super thin, blendable concealers that just like stretch really easily. I don't want that. I don't necessarily want a super stretchy concealer because it means I'm just gonna spread product all over my face. I don't want the coverage to spread everywhere because I don't need the coverage to spread everywhere. I like to just kind of spot conceal, and then when I put it right under my eyes, I use my Wander Beauty cushion and I just keep patting it there. And then with the excess, I will blend the rest under the eye. So if you know how to use this right, I think it'll be the best concealer that you've ever tried. Also, my code KATE20 gets you 20% off Fitglow. It's a permanent coupon code. I don't make any commission from that, sadly, but if you click the link in the description box, I will get a commission from your order. So if you wanna help support my channel, clicking the affiliate links and making a purchase is super helpful. But the coupon codes are there also in the description box for you, and KATE20 gets you 20% off Fitglow. You guys, we've got a twist. This bad boy bumped the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer off the list. I don't know what happened when I ran out of my butter bronzer for like the 100th time. I ordered another one, just a reorder, and I got completely different colored packaging and a completely different colored bronzer. It still says light bronze, but it's like super orange, and instead of the old like green and yellow packaging, now it's like blue. I don't know if they gave me the wrong formula or they discontinued the old one. I don't know, but it's orange, so now I pretty much just reach for the Say Sun Melt Bronzer in light bronze. It has this incredible stiff cream texture, so you don't just like get a ton, but then on the skin, it melts into an almost blurring consistency. My only issue is the shade range. This shade light is quite orange, especially if you're very, very cool toned like I am. I would love to see them come out with less orange shades, but I still love this and it looks beautiful on the skin. It's really easy to blend, and I find that it just really gives me a very believable looking glow. The only brow product I ever really feel that I need is the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer in Brunette. I'm wearing it on my eyebrows today with no brow gel. I applied this in my birthday makeup video, so if you want to check that out, you'll see it in action. It's my perfect shade. It's a nice skinny pencil that comes with a spoolie on the end. It's great. It's the perfect brow pencil. There's nothing else I would need from this. It's like $7.99. Why would I pay a cent more when this is a perfect product? Moving right along to blushes, one of my most reached for blushes of the year was the M Cosmetics Heaven's Glow Radiant Veil Blush in Venetian Rose. What can I say about this? Beautiful, beautiful formula. At first I looked at it and I was like, yeah, it's like a mauve pink blush, whatever. But there's something about the color and the formula that just like really transforms on skin. And I was deceived by this at first because I went in with like a dense fluffy brush and just kind of like swirled around and on my cheeks, and it was like so clown pigmented. I remember not liking it. But then when I went in with my EcoTools 360 sheer face brush, and I just lightly went in and tapped off the excess and then just started buffing on my face, whew, it adds such an incredible glow to the skin. I don't find personally that that iridescence emphasizes texture, although maybe other people would have different experiences, but it looks quite like mauve cool toned in the pan, but on the skin, it really warms up. So that's what it looks like. You can see it's got quite a beautiful amount of iridescence to it. And for those of you wondering what's on my cheeks today, I have the M Cosmetics Heaven's Glow Radiant Veil Blush in Baroque. So I'll swatch it side by side for you just because it'll be helpful. Unfortunately, I decluttered Magic Hour, and I know it's kind of similar. This is just more brown and less peachy than Magic Hour. But here you go. Venetian Rose, Baroque. You can see there's also a little bit of a cool toned quality to it. It's quite like it's a warm beige, but in certain lights, it's cool. And I actually did end up popping a pink blush on top, but that contour shade that's coming on my lower cheekbone is all Baroque. I just wanted to swatch that for you so I could be helpful. But in 2021, I mean, it was all about Venetian Rose for me. There's one other powder blush that I am totally hooked on and reach for so frequently, and it's the pink blush I have on my cheeks on top of M Cosmetics Baroque, and it is the Essence Berry Connection Mosaic Blush. So you just swirl them around and get such a beautiful flush of cool tone pink with a hint of berry. And I just love how much it brightens the face. It makes me look fresh and youthful. I love it. Also, I have a video on my channel comparing this to the viral Dior Backstage Rosy Glow blush if you want to check that out. That was in my channel a few months ago. It was a very close call between most used blush between M Cosmetics Venetian Rose and this one. This is the MAC Glow Play Blush in Blush Please, and it doesn't look like anything special. But the neutral, boring blushes are the ones that I find look the most skin-like and just do something to me, you know? It's that putty texture, that cream powder hybrid I love, and it just creates the most gorgeous skin-like flush. That's it heavily applied, so you can see it's very similar to Venetian Rose, but it just looks a little more skin-like and there's less of a highlightery effect. It's not like a subtle shimmer like M Cosmetics, it's just, you can barely see it. It almost just looks emollient. And that's why I love it so much. It's just a little bit of mauve and pink, a little bit of like brownie beige, and a little iridescence to just wake the skin up and make it look fresh and healthy. So my number one pick for my favorite blush formula of all time is the Glow Play formula. You get the ease of use to apply it like a powder. So I just swirl a brush in and tap, tap, tap on my face. I'm good to go. But you get the skin-like quality of a cream because it is like both. It's like equally a cream and a powder. So you get the best of both formulas without the powdery kickback or the dry feeling or looking cakey, but you don't have to spend all this time tapping it in and blending it out and having the color fade like a cream. Man, if I ever launched a brand, I would just come out with like 30 shades of like the MAC Glow Play blush because it's so good. Anytime I was in warm weather though, I was reaching for Heat Index. It's this insane reddish pinky coral. Hello. I mean, what? Oh, look at that. Wow. Wow. If you want to see Heat Index in action, the most recent video where I applied it on my channel was my like vacation makeup disaster story. Definitely check that out to see it in person. I also used it on my lips and it was really pretty. This is my go-to summer or vacation color. It just wakes the face up. Oh, makes you look sun-kissed and glowy and healthy and sexy. I love it. I love this color so much. A very similar formula is the Bare Minerals Bounce and Blur. I think they're discontinuing these because I saw on the Sephora website one of the shades was just completely gone from the website and a third shade was slashed in half in terms of the price. They may be phasing these out. This is beautiful. It is also that cream powder hybrid, and it's similar to the MAC Glow Play Blush and So Natural, but not quite as yellow. This is just more of like a beige bronze. Again, stunning, bouncy, cream powder hybrid formula. It's got that slight iridescence to it, so it's just beautiful and looks very skin-like. The only difference is, you know, I do prefer a little bit of something like a hint of pink or a hint of red in any of my blushes. This is quite a beigey bronze, but it serves a very specific purpose. If I find like I have a bright lip I want to do, or a bright, bold, smoky eye look, and I really want to pare down my cheeks, this is the one that I go for. This is an old Point Perk I got. It's also the Bounce and Blur, but it's in this Point Perk, and it's the shade Mauve Sunrise. It's super similar to like all the other shades I have. This one is just quite a bit pinky. So you can see Blurred Buff here, Mauve Sunrise here, which really just looks more like a warm pink. The cream blush category was one of the hardest for me to narrow down. The two that I picked are the Phytosurgeon Skin Spark Balm in Simmer and the Victoria Beckham Cheeky Posh in Mini Skirt, but I just want to say I had so many other favorites. I just didn't want this video to be so long. I am loving the Beauty Pie Super Cheek, for example, the Can Make Cream Cheek, the Tarte Maneater Blush, the Say Dewy Blush, but I just wanted to narrow it down to like my two favorites. I've just really been feeling pink blush lately. My Skin Spark Balm looks a little rough. It got kind of like bubbly, but it doesn't matter when I'm using my brush or like a finger. So it like looks kind of bubbly in the pot, but it's fine when it's on my face. Look at that pigment. What I love about the Skin Spark blush bombs, Skin Sparks, I don't know, is that they are so opaque, but so blendable. It just feels like the most beautiful, whipped cream texture. If you just put a little dot on the back of your hand, or maybe like that, and then put your brush in it and just tap it on your face, it's so easy to apply. But if you have very, very deep skin, they are quite strong, so you could use almost every shade, I think. I think that that makes them a very inclusive product given how many colors they have, how opaque so many of their colors are, how deep a lot of their colors are. Man, look at that. Do you see how it's almost blurring on the skin too? I just think that the Phytosurgeon Skin Sparks are one of the best products I've ever tried. My other favorite that I nixed from the video, but it was so hard to choose, was Fume. F-U-M-E. It's like a mauve that kind of warms up on the skin though, very similar to Venetian Rose. It's like basically the same color. But honestly, the only reason I don't talk about Phytosurgeon's blushes more is because I find that their colors are very bright, very pigmented, very saturated. I'm someone who likes a little bit more of like sheer muted blush colors a little bit more. So I think if they came out with some more skin-like colors, I would be like head over heels in love. But I just think the formula is so good. This one really took me by surprise. I was expecting to hate this because Kaki did not particularly like these. She thought that they were just kind of unremarkable, and Kaki is like such a blush fanatic that I was totally expecting to not like them as well. But I had a bunch of other friends who were raving about them, and I just started really lusting after this particular color called Mini Skirt. And I have to say, I really fell in love with the formula. And I completely understand everything Kaki was saying about it. Like the formula itself, yeah, it actually is not quite remarkable. But there's a reason I like that. Okay, I'll shut up, I'll just swatch it first. And then I'll zoom in, because I forgot to zoom in. First of all, the shade. Oh my God. It's like a brown with red. It's so good. And it's quite stiff at first. If you like really, really pile it on like that I did, you could see that it was emollient. That's not how it looks on the skin though. It's more like that, just that perfect reddish brown. And I was having a hard time finding other colors like this. Like I'm just reaching for a lot of like either bright pops of like cool tone pink or very like browny neutral shades these days. And so I was really excited to have found this color. Obviously the Victoria Beckham packaging is divine. And you know, I don't actually really apply this in a cream way. I don't use my fingers. I don't apply it from the bullet directly on my face. What I like about it is that it is quite a stiff cream at first. And all I do is I just swirl a dense brush around, tap it on my face, and then it looks airbrushed like that. I feel like a lot of people could get creams to work better for them if they treated them more like powders, meaning like really just using like a powder blush brush and like swirling it around and then buffing it in really cuts down on the blending time or applying too much. And so that's when a stiff cream comes in handy, because you can't do that with a very emollient product or you'll get too much. But that's why I actually thought that this formula was remarkable. I like that kind of stiffness to it. It just made it look super skin-like and made it really easy to work with because it doesn't pick up too much product at once, but you can build it up really well. I have 3 highlighter favorites, starting with the Phytosurgeon Spectral Shine Balm in Divine Daylight. Now, my packaging is not great, but I do know that they're updating the packaging, which is awesome. It's literally one dude named Jason who's like an ICU nurse who's busting their ass while also creating these incredibly innovative, inclusive products. Don't know how he does it, but like, listen, I'm not gonna complain about the packaging. The mirror fell out, whatever. Do I need an extra mirror? No. If I didn't mention the packaging, I know people would be kind of suspect, but I really do not care about that, even though they are coming out with updated packaging. I love this so much. It's hard to describe. Feels dry and powdery and stiff, like you are rubbing it and you're like, there is nothing coming up on my finger. And you can see it there. It's reflective. If you do this and then apply it on skin, you like can't really see it. I don't have their Sky Buff brush down here, which I recommend with it, but like any kind of small, semi-stiff brush, swirling it around and then swirling it onto the cheeks, it gives you a very soft focus, airbrushed kind of glow. It doesn't look like shimmer. You can only see it when it really catches the light. It kind of doesn't look like you're wearing highlighter. It looks like you spent a lot of money on good skincare, and for fuck's sake, that's exactly how I want to look. I could not stop reaching for the Hollywood Flawless filter in the first half of 2021, which is when I discovered it. I got the mini size in 3, and it looks like, interestingly, very dark peach. It looks like much darker than my skin tone, but when it's on my face, it is the perfect match because my face is darker than my hands. And you know the Hollywood Flawless filter, I don't have to go on and on about it. It just blurs the skin. It just looks expensive. I really started reaching for products like this that set down, that don't feel tacky or sticky, and don't reflect light in like a wet way. I love that it just adds that soft focus glow. I've stopped reaching for any products that stay balmy and sticky and tacky on the face. I don't buy balmy blushes anymore. I don't buy balmy cheek products anymore. Like, I used to be obsessed with the RMS Living Luminizer. Now the thought of putting that on my face, or like the Nude Sticks highlighters, they stayed so sticky. Oh my God, I'm so glad I moved on and I found other formulas, because this is like probably my favorite highlighter of all time. If I want to look like bitch is wearing highlighter, then I go for the Beauty Pie Triple Luminizing Wand. Thumper is barking. I'm winded because I just spent 20 minutes outside playing with Thumper. Every day at 5 p.m. he barks at us to come and play outside with him. So I had my dog mom duties. Where were we? The Beauty Pie Triple Beauty Luminizing Wand. It is like beam of light status highlighter. Perfect shade. I think it would work on a lot of people. It's quite translucent. It really is, even though it looks light right now, because it's just so like shimmery, but not in a glitter way. It's just like molten lava, like chrome, metal. And it's another highlighter. So I had the Charlotte Tilbury here. The Beauty Pie also, why I love it so much is it's the highlighter that I can like really amp up for a glossy skin look, but it sets down. For Beauty Pie, my code Kate sent me gets you $10 off your order. The only palette I think really deserves the spotlight is the Flower Beauty Desert Lights palette. Let me just, okay, first of all, it's so affordable. It's on Ulta for like $12, or at least I got it, I think it was on sale. It is such a pigmented foiled texture. It's so soft. What? Oh my God, so pigmented. And it like is flaky and foiled. You barely need to touch this and you will get the most amazing shine and payoff. It is just incredible. It is prone to a little bit of fallout because when you touch it, it's such a soft, flaky, foiled texture. I really recommend using your fingers and just like lightly touching the pan and lightly dabbing and then building it, but you can build it to this unbelievable shine. I need a little lip product topper. This is the Chantecaille Lip Chic in Honeysuckle I've been wearing. I only picked 4 powder eyeshadows. You have no idea how hard that is for me. Powder eyeshadows were really more of what I reached for in this past year. I do find that powders are still just a little bit more beginner friendly, which I am very much still a beginner when it comes to eyeshadow. My favorite eyeshadow now is the L'Oreal eyeshadow in Amber Rush, and I don't know what's up with it. Like, I didn't see that it was sold on CVS or anything. I just saw like Amazon and Walmart. I hope they didn't discontinue this. It's just a pot of heavenly, peachy, oh no. It's fine. Watch this. Yes. Yes. Oh, it's my perfect one and done everyday shadow. It adds a little bit of definition. It might even be coming across a little bright on camera. It is like warm and peachy, like just like a rose gold, and on the eyes, so reflective, so affordable, so blendable. If you use a brush, it doesn't pick up quite as much of the shine, which is pretty much how I feel about all eyeshadows. But applied with your hands, it is just the most incredible shine and so affordable and amazing. I just wish they made more neutral shades in that line. The next is, and it was hard to pick just one MAC eyeshadow. Oh, the MAC Extra Dimension Eyeshadow in Amorous Alloy. This is my perfect sexy smoky shade. It's this, it broke, so if I hold it up, it'll like fall out of the pan. It's this incredible, warm, reddish brown, and on my blue eyes, ooh, watch out, buddy. It's just, you know, a typical kind of satin powder formula, and it just, so that's how you can build it up, and it can be such a sexy color. Or you can just do like, you know, a little bit of a nice, subtle, warm brown. And on the eyes, that reflective quality is just so incredibly flattering and so effortless. Not a metallic, so it's not super bold, doesn't look like you're trying really hard, but it's not matte, so it has a little bit of something extra. And that red in the brown, I just find is really special. It's like the eyeshadow I wear when I want to feel cool, you know, like if I'm going to a concert and I want a smoky eye, I reach for this. The next one was a late discovery in 2019. Nope. Not even close. 2021. This is the Chantecaille Luminescent Eye Shade in Golden Copper or Lion. My friend has a channel here. Her name's Ashley Rebecca. And she very kindly sent this to me because she decluttered it and she thought of me when she was decluttering it. And I was so blown away because A, it is 100% my kind of shade, and B, that she would want to get rid of this. Look at it. They're expensive. Chantecaille products are. So this is a metallic with some like chunky glitters. And it looks so nice on the eyes. You can't really see it right now, but it does have a bunch of like scattered golden glitter particles. Hopefully you can see it a little better now, that kind of texture. And then same with the MAC Amorous Alloy. And in the same vein as those, the Wander Beauty Double Date Eyeshadow Duos knocked it out of the park. You gotta check out Wander Beauty. They're way better than they get credit for. So this is the Double Date eyeshadow in Smitten and Swoon. There's a cream on the bottom, and the cream itself is worth it because it's a cream. How do I describe this? I'll just show you. It's a cream that's a satin, and I like that it's not matte. I like that it's not like a metallic glittery cream. It just is such a good burnished antique bronze. And it makes the perfect base for the glitter, but it's also incredible as a shadow on its own because it doesn't crease. So then you have this eyeshadow on top, and it's their like metallic, and it's a powder, and you can just, boom. You can layer them on top of each other. Look at those. And they perform so beautifully as formulas together, but you can use either one separately for a beautiful look. Oh, pretty. I have 3 eyeshadows I would consider glitter toppers. This was hard. There were so many others I wanted to pick. I wanted to do the Clarins eyeshadow in Peach Girl, Chanel New Moon, Illamasqua, I forget the shade, but it's like the pinky rose color that Khaki really likes. I was so close to including like 5 from ColourPop, but of course they're all discontinued, so I didn't want to include them. Oh my god, it's so dark now. I like totally lost my lighting. John's dad's best friend just came by to give me a chocolate tart because it's my birthday. That was so sweet. Okay, where was I? Okay, yeah. I was able to narrow down to the 3 glitter toppers I use the most. And the first is the Bodyography Glitter Pigment in Celestial. Pretty similar to L'Oreal Amber Rush, but this is more glittery, whereas Amber Rush is more of a metallic. So, and the name is a glitter pigment. And you can see very, very shiny. And with Bodyography Celestial, there's less of a base pigment. So instead, you just get this really nice high shine finish, but it is a lot of like scattered glitter particles. It's my favorite one from Bodyography. Hard to narrow down. I also really love Off the Hook. That's a great one, but this is my favorite. Look at that shine. Another way I loved wearing glitter this year was with the Phytosurgence Flash Fluorescence eyeshadows in Fractal Freesia and Orchid Overload. What's really cool about these is you can wear them alone in the same way you might wear like a ColourPop Ritz, something that has a very, very sheer base color, but with a lot of glitter. But what's cool about them is that they're like a gel cream. This is Fractal Freesia, and it's basically like a translucent gel cream, but with suspended glitter. What's so cool about that is then you don't have to deal with fallout, for me at least. Phytosurgence is all about like really cool kind of subtle products. See that stripe of glitter? That's what it does. It just catches the light. It just catches the light. This one is Orchid Overload. It's more of like a pink, very sheer base though. And it's the same thing. It just adds like a little bit of, see how it looks like nothing and then it catches the light and you're like, whoa, cool, what is that? It's just like really cool suspended glitter in like translucent gel. And this one's like pink glitter. And I don't love it on its own, even though that's a really cool look, I think, but I just love it to make my favorite eyeshadows glittery. Because if you have like a powder on the bottom, it's hard to add like a bunch of glitter because then it'll have nothing to stick to. But this already has that sticky base that you need, so that I personally find it adheres really well to the eyes, even if it's on top of something, easy to use with your fingers, and I don't find that it has any fallout unless I'm going like really hard in it. Now we're on to my favorite cream eyeshadows I picked for. 2 of them are the Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize. No surprise here, Oyster Pearl is my favorite eyeshadow, one of my favorite eyeshadows, and has been for many years. Mine is still called Marie Antoinette because I've had this for many years, but she renamed them. Now this one's Oyster Pearl. I just think this is the most incredible color. In some lights, it looks like a warm bronze, like right there. In other lights, like right there, it looks kind of cool toned. So it's a really cool kind of amorphous shade, but this is Oyster Pearl. And it's definitely my favorite and my most used. Pillow Talk is a recent purchase as of like early December, maybe even later than that. But I don't care, I'm including it. It was 2021. You wouldn't ever apply that much on your lids, so realistically, it's more like that kind of color. What I will say about the Eyes to Mesmerize formula, so beginner friendly. It blends really easily before it sets down and then it stays pretty well. I would say around hour 3, it does start fading and creasing for sure. It doesn't bother me though, and most people I've talked to have said the same thing, that they notice it kind of creases, kind of fades a little bit, but in kind of like an undone messy way. not in like a, where's my eyeshadow, I look like a piece of shit way, you know what I mean? So I don't mind it. But my last two eyeshadow picks are my two favorite matte creams. And we have the Rimmel Wonder Cloud in Honey Drop and the Rare Beauty Liquid Eyeshadow in Nearly Neutral. Honey Drop is more dry, so I would consider it more of like a whipped moussey cream. So you can see there, it's like quite like a dry silicone slip moussey cream. That orangey sand color is so nice on my blue eyes. And it's matte, it's so cheap. It's only available on Amazon though, which I find bizarre. Hopefully it's not discontinued. Wonderful formula if you can get your hands on it. Rare Beauty Nearly Neutral, much more opaque, a little bit more liquidy, and I don't think it's neutral. It's like very warm. The whole naming system for that line is weird, but this is definitely like that rosy reddish brown that I love. And I love wearing this on, I love both of these for work because they're matte and I can just do like a tiny dot on my lids and just like blend it out into just a flush of color. We have lips and then we're done. You better believe I'm gonna put everything on my lips for you. My first favorite for liners is the Citizen Cosmetics Lip Stroke in Deux. This color and formula is the best liner I could ever try. This is what Sabrina Carpenter used in her Vogue video, and I went to the depths of the internet to find out what it was, because like Citizen Cosmetics, who knows what that is? It was on like a Reddit thread, or maybe it was like deep in the comments in like a reply to a comment, I don't know. The formula is creamy and opaque. See how blendable that is for a liner? No stick or like hard pencil feeling or waxiness. And you have a second to start blending it. See that blendability, which is very important if you're overlining your lips because you want to be able to blur it out. I don't like a harsh lip line. So you have a minute to blend it before it sets. Perfect nude shade. This is Deux, but Citizen Cosmetics is known because they have a line of like 40 nude lipsticks. Nudes for everyone is like their thing. So definitely a brand to watch in 2022 for sure. And then it sets down. And so there's also like a waxiness to it. Watch how it makes my lips appear a lot bigger. And then blend. Already, you know? And it looks just kind of blurring. And then I feel like my lips look so much fuller. Like I want to be like, you know, I mean, there's no denying that. I'm so sorry. I filmed 2 videos back to back and now it's nighttime and I'm absolutely positive that the lighting is trash, but what are we gonna do? My other favorite lip liner is Khaki from Thrive Cosmetics. It really is the perfect reddish brown to make any color work. You know, it's like, if you want a nude, if you want a red, if you want a bright color, Khaki is so great to tone down bright colors. Like if I have a bright ass pink lip gloss, it looks kind of weird if you just apply a pink lip gloss, but if you have that brown liner on, not like a 90s overdone brown, but just a little bit around the edges, transforms a bright lip. Next up I have my Chantecaille Lip Cheeks. This is Honeysuckle I was wearing throughout the video, so I'm not going to apply it. Yes, I will. So moisturizing, a little bit of shine. It's thick. It feels like the Charlotte Tilbury Happy Kiss, but in much more luxurious packaging. Smells like vanilla. So nourishing. It just has that cushion, waxy, buttery feel that feels so good. If you know the Happy Kiss, you know what I'm talking about. It's like that, but grown up. I also have Patience. See how it's kind of stiff at first? You gotta like work it in. I love that. My perfect nude shade. It is so good. Glossy, nourishing. It's like a light beige with a hint of gray. So I think it's kind of fun. The Charlotte Tilbury Happy Kisses are my second favorite lip product of all time. Crystal Happy Kiss is basically clear, so I'll just smack it on. And I love that I can just be like, ugh, all day. It's so like nourishing and not thin. It's cushiony and comfortable. See how I can just like layer that on and it's so sheer, but it looks bright. Oh, it's so nice. Pillow Talk is my second favorite. It's a more flattering version of Pillow Talk than her other lines. I feel like her lipstick that's iconic is a little bit more like gray. It was very like dull and gray on me. This one has a little more rose, which I find so flattering. I understand people don't like this. The packaging feels like kid makeup. Like it's so expensive. And the Chantecaille Lip Chic formula is almost the same thing, but in a twist up where you don't have to worry about untwisting it, because if you twist this up, you can't twist it back down. I know people hate that, but it doesn't bother me. Like I just don't over twist your product. But the packaging feels super cheap. So just keep that in mind. But in terms of the formula, second favorite of all time behind the Fitglow Lip Serum. Oh, and by the way, it's incredibly similar to the M Cosmetics lip cushion, but the reason I prefer the Charlotte Tilbury Happy Kiss is because it has a slight vanilla scent. Same with the Chantecaille. I prefer my lip products to have a little bit of, you know, a baked good scent or something sweet. The M Cosmetics is unscented. M Cosmetics Venetian Rose is more gray than Pillow Talk, but here's Venetian Rose by M Cosmetics. It's like actually nighttime now. I was not considering this. And that is Pillow Talk. So you can see why I prefer Pillow Talk. There's just like more rosiness, whereas this Venetian Rose is a little more gray. Incredibly similar formula between those two. Very melty, kind of stiff, thick, nourishing, cushy bombs in a stick. I love them so much. But the M Cosmetics is unscented. I just prefer the scent of something vanilla. I was gonna include the Glossier Ultra Lips, but those were unscented and I just don't find them as nourishing, but I still really like those. Other than that, the only kind of lipstick I wore, Beauty Pie Future Lipstick Luxe Shines. They're incredible. Yeah, you can see when I apply Bruised Berry, it's more stiff, like a lipstick, less like one of those melty bombs. Bruised Berry is just the perfect like flush of reddish berry. It's not too purple berry. It's just so comfortable and I love that flush of rosiness. It has a nice vanilla scent and it feels kind of like the Charlotte Tilbury Happy Kiss in that it's like a cross between a lipstick in that formula. There's like that thick, cushiony nourishment to it that I love. Other fave is You Sexy Thing. It's a nude and it's like almost my lip color, so I could apply it without a mirror and just kind of keep like going around and it's not gonna look too insane. So it just ends up being a really beautiful sheer pinky beige compared to Bruised Berry that's full opacity and that's more sheer. Beautiful amount of shine, as you can see too. So that's You Sexy Thing. It's just like a My Lips better shade. It's getting late, so I'm not gonna swatch all of my Fitglow lip serum favorites. I was going to, but just watch my whole lip serum video. If YouTube gives me enough space in the description box to link all the shit that I'm talking about, I'll try to link this video. I swatched every single Fitglow lip serum on my lips and compared all of the shades on my arms. Just go watch that. My favorites from 2021 were the ones in my kit, obviously, Beach Glow, Gospel, and Root. But I ended up falling in love with Juice, which is a sheer pinky red with some shimmer. Ever, which is a sheer purple berry, which is so sheer it ends up looking like really natural. Halo, a grayish beige, which is kind of new for me. And then Full, which is kind of like a medium chocolate. So go watch that video because this video is now hella washed out because I lost my son. I have former products. God, I hope you can see what I'm doing. I have the Lawless Forget the Filler glosses. Thick, cushiony, incredible formula. Look at that applicator. Just hugs the lips. And it gives such a smooth glass-like shine. It really fills in the lip lines. This is the shade Velvet, and it's like this bright pink, very thick. Smells like strawberries. It does have menthol. There's a cooling effect, but this one strangely doesn't dry me out. Doesn't irritate my lips. It's just a little bit cooling. It's just so glossy, so shiny, fills in the lips, feels like cushiony and thick, and I think it's flattering on the lips. Like when I wear this, John will compliment me. He'll be like, ooh, looks good. This is a mini of the shade George, so like a light beige. Just a little understated, not a bright pink. If you don't like a thick, sticky gloss, don't go for it, but it's comfortable. It's sticky in the way that it's long lasting. And I just think it's really flattering. Do you want to come say hi to my video? I have 3 products left. I lost all my light and now I look crazy.
Hey, beauty world.
Oh.
It's gorgeous.
Oh, John.
I like this lighting. I look very handsome.
You do. Do you want some lip gloss?
Am I doing it?
You look beautiful. Get out of here.
I think I need to take this show over. Alright guys, here we go. Let's do this.
Tell me about the formula, what you like about it.
So this formula, crushed oil infused gloss. Nope, it's Bobbi Brown. So I really like the swatchiness. It gets it really nice.
Hold your hand up so they can see.
There we go. So like, you know, I have a really beautiful olive tone in my skin.
You do.
So this really like brings out that pigment.
You click, here you go.
And then you just put it up here.
No!
Oh no, oh no. Let's make a birthday cake.
Okay.
Should I get our boy?
Yeah, probably. I'm gonna keep talking. Anyways.
Yeah.
Bye, John. Bobbi Brown. I've talked about the Bobbi Brown crushed oil infused lip gloss quite a few times on my channel recently. It is a lightweight but not thin and slippery lip gloss. Feels like a cross between a gloss and an oil, very comfortable, very flattering on the lips. My favorite is the shade Slow Jam. Look at this. Ugh. Slow Jam is just the most stunning rosy brown. My perfect rosy brown. I love it. I feel like it looks flattering on the lips. It's not like the most high shine product like the Lawless. It's more like an oil and a gloss. Comfortable. My only negative is that there's a citrus scent that also smells like crayons, and I don't love it, but it dissipates quickly and it's not super offensive. The color that John so very kindly demoed is Freestyle, a bright pinky coral. And it's very sheer. This is probably the most lightweight of all the products in my 2021 favorites video. So if you're looking for something that's just like, you don't really feel that much on your lips, you know, I like a really cushiony kind of thick product, but there are times when I really just want something more lightweight, and this is what I reach for. 2 more glosses and then we're done. Man, the Beauty Pie Wonder Gloss Collagen Lip Oils are just so phenomenal. They have the most divine vanilla scent, like all Beauty Pie lip products do. They are a cross between an oil, a gloss, and a liquid lip balm, and they're so incredibly cushiony. They're thinner than the Fitglow lip serums. So thinner because they have that oil, shinier because they're also a gloss, but the cushioniness of the Fitglow lip serums. This is Cherry-O. Love the applicator. So sheer, more sheer than Bobbi Brown. These are just a flush of color. So that's Cherry-O, shiny, cushiony, comfortable, vanilla smell, love. This is my favorite, Jammy, very similar. You don't need both. Just like a nice flush of plum. My last favorite lip product are the In Beauty lip glazes. I narrowed it down to my 2 favorites, which was hard because their scents and everything is just so good. A couple days ago, they just launched their new shade, which is Cookie. So it tastes and smells like chocolate chip cookies, and it's a milk chocolate tint. Very excited to get that in the mail. This is my favorite, and it's berry jam. It smells like a delicious pot of bubbling berry jam. I have a dog hair on my face. So satisfying to apply. Little more pigment than Beauty Pie, but these are a little thinner. I just love a sheer berry, a sheer plum. I think it's like the most natural kind of lip color. It's a thicker product for a lip oil, but it's still pretty lightweight on the lips. Like it's cushiony, but still lightweight at the same time. I have so many different like cushiony oil balm gloss hybrid products that it's kind of hard to keep track of like the small minute differences in the formulas at this point. But for a lip oil product, these have a cushioniness to them while still remaining lightweight like an oil. Recently I fell in love with Fruity Cereal, which smells like Fruity Pebbles. If I over apply though, it can give me that like butthole ring that I don't like. So I just think that that creamy milky baby pink is so fun and sometimes just really brightens up and makes my look a little more youthful, and I love that. And who doesn't want to smell like Fruity Pebbles? That's it for me. That's all my 2021 makeup favorites, and I'm so sorry that it is completely dark out now. I did not account for that. I didn't think this was gonna take as long. If I've inspired you to make a purchase for any of these products, it would be super helpful if you click my affiliate links in the description box below so that you can help support my channel, because it is very hard to make $1 out here. And as always, if you made it this far, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.